My name was Andriy. I was 21 when the war tore my world apart. I thought I knew what courage meant. I thought I understood fear. I was wrong. It all began in the autumn of 1942 during World War II. Our unit was sent deep into enemy territory. At first it felt like any other mission: careful planning, short skirmishes, hope that we would return home soon. But one day our position was surrounded. The air was thick with tension. Every sound, every shadow felt like a threat. We fought as long as we could, but we were outnumbered and outgunned. I remember the moment it became clear we couldn't hold our ground. Some of my comrades fell. I could hear their voices fading, and then silence. It was the kind of silence that seems alive, pressing down on you, whispering that this might be the end. Then came the capture. The word captivity didn't describe it. It felt heavier than any punishment. Shackled, herded, counted, I felt stripped of time and self. Days blended into nights, nights into days. Each moment stretched endlessly, and yet somehow nothing happened. I met other prisoners, men from different towns, different backgrounds, all sharing the same invisible weight. Some were quiet, staring into the distance. Some tried to joke, to break the monotony. We formed fragile bonds, small islands of trust. We told stories about home. I told mine about my mother's bread, the smell of her cooking, the sound of my little sister laughing. These stories weren't just memories, they were lifelines. I learned to notice small things: the sun breaking through a crack in the roof, the sound of birds, the smell of rain. Those things reminded me that the world beyond the camp still existed. They reminded me of freedom. For weeks, I didn't think about escape. The thought was terrifying. Failure could mean death, or worse, being broken in ways you could never heal. But as time passed, the yearning to see my home again became stronger than fear. I started watching everything: guard patterns, routines, weak points. Every glance, every footstep, every sound could be a clue. We tried small experiments at first, testing boundaries, subtle missteps to see how the guards reacted. Each time we were caught, fear and humiliation struck, but each failure also taught us. We became careful, patient, waiting for the night when the world would give us a chance. That night came during a storm. Rain and wind covered every sound. The guards were distracted. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure it would betray us. Every step felt like crossing a chasm. Every second was a test of courage. I reminded myself of my father's words: "Real strength is not in your fists, it's here." And I placed my hand over my chest, feeling the steady beat of life, the proof that I was still myself. We ran, through mud, through rain, through darkness that seemed endless. Every shadow could hide danger, every noise could betray us. Yet the thought of home, of freedom, of life outside those fences carried us forward. Hours turned into days. We slept in ditches, in the forest, anywhere we could hide. Hunger gnawed at us, cold bit our skin, exhaustion pulled at our limbs, but we moved, slowly, carefully, always moving. I remember one morning seeing the sun rise through the trees. The light felt like a promise. It reminded me that I had survived the first test. I had made it out of the camp alive. We met people who risked their lives to help us. They gave us water, a piece of bread, a place to rest. I will never forget their kindness. In that moment, I understood that even in the darkest times, humanity can shine. The journey to home was long and grueling. Every step was a battle of will. I remembered my family constantly, my mother's smile, my sister's laughter, the warmth of home. Those memories became a fuel I could not let go out. We traveled by night, hid by day. Every town, every village, every person we encountered could be a friend or a threat. And yet even small gestures of kindness, a guiding hand, a piece of bread, were enough to keep hope alive. The forest became our sanctuary and our prison. Cold, wet, hungry, scared. Sometimes I thought I wouldn't make it, but every time I felt despair, I thought, I will survive. I must survive. When I finally reached my home, I was changed. I was thinner, older than my 21 years, but alive. I had learned things no classroom or battle could teach: the fragility of life, the importance of hope, the power of kindness, the strength that comes from holding on to oneself when everything else is lost. Captivity took my freedom on the outside, but it could never take my freedom inside. That inner freedom carried me through every step, every night, every danger. Now, when people ask me what was the hardest part, I answer simply: not the cold, not the hunger, not the fear of death. The hardest part was the moment when I almost lost my faith in myself. I did not. I survived, and I am here to tell this story.